Hello everyone, Chan here, and this is day one of IEM Cologne. I'm here now with Cloud9's team captain and mid laner. Hi.
Hello.
So you're only one of the few teams that didn't make any roster changes since the end of season 3. Do you think this will give you an advantage once season 4 starts?
Well, season 4, a lot of things have changed, like the entire map. Well, not the entire map, but parts of it, and like champions change. So I think even though there are people that have done roster changes, it all just matters how each team adapts to the changes. So while I think we might have like better synergy between each other, if that can't correlate into learning the new meta or the new game, then it doesn't matter too much. So I think we're almost all on even playing fields, even though teams are going through roster changes.
Do you expect to continue to dominate the NA LCS like you did till now? And who do you think your strongest opponents will be for the top?
I don't think we'll go 25-3 just like we did last split. We kind of went in there and people didn't expect us to be that good, and they kind of underestimated us maybe. I'm not sure, but going into this next split, people understand that we're a strong team and they will obviously prepare for it. And I think each team is going to get stronger. And once again, the changes of the new patch will make us a weaker team as well until we get used to the new changes. So I don't know. I don't think we'll be as good as we were last split, but hopefully we'll still do well. And as far as teams that we have to watch out for, we've been playing against most of the teams in North America so far, and the team that's given us the most trouble is TSM, and that's largely in part because of Bjergsen. He's a really good player, and the games are very hard versus them, basically. So I think TSM will be either at the top or number 2. I'm not sure, but they're really good right now.
So you're eager to play against Bjergsen in the NALCS?
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun to play versus them. I always have a great time versus any mid laner, and the better they are of a mid laner, the more fun I have. Because if they're better than me, I could learn from them, and it's just a great time. So when I get to play them in the LCS, that'll be a grand time. I think it'll be really fun. So,
what are your expectations about the promotion tournament in NA?
I'm not entirely sure. I've been keeping track of the amateur teams. I don't know exactly like who's gonna pick who. So. What they did with the promotion tournament is that teams get to pick who they play versus. So I think it just depends if the teams pick the right teams. So for example, if Curse, they get the first pick, they get to pick the weakest team. And if they do that, I think that'll increase their chances. If they pick one of the stronger teams like Complexity or like Quantic perhaps, that'd make their chances much harder. So I think it comes down to if they pick the right teams or not. So.
What are your comments on the NALCS teams with roster changes like Curse and TSM? And do you expect other teams to make changes as well that have until now?
Well, for CLG, their current roster changes, they got rid of Big Fat Gigi and their support player, Chaucer. So I'm not entirely sure if they're going to stick with Afrumu and Trix. If they do, then I think they'll be pretty good, but we'll have to see how they do here. That'll kind of decide if they decide to stick with Trix and Afrumu or not. And for Curse, they have like 3 teams right now, so I honestly don't know what they're doing. So we'll have to see which team makes it into the LCS first off. And I think the roster changes are fine. They did it for the better. St. Vicious now a coach, and he gets to teach them how to play. So I think it'll work out for them. TSM, the roster changes are good. Reggie gets to relax now. He gets to manage his brand and his company. And Bjergsen is a phenomenal mid laner, so that worked out for them. And Dignitas, I don't know what they're doing yet, and neither do they. They just replaced their support player Patoy and their top laner Kiwi Kid, but then they sent their top laner to support, so we'll have to see how that pans out for them. I honestly don't know. There's even more roster changes. Coast is still looking for an 80 carry, and I don't know. We'll just see. We'll have to see if the teams made the right decisions, getting rid of each player and getting new ones. So.
There's a chance that you can play against Fnatic here in the tournament final. Is that something you hope for, so you can get revenge for World Finals? And have you prepared something specifically for that matchup?
That'd be great if we could play Fnatic here, because one, that'd give us a chance to get our revenge. It'd be a very hyped up match. But then again, if let's say Gambit beats the team that they play today and we verse them tomorrow, and we get to beat Gambit and we go to the finals, and if CLG makes it to the finals, it'd be NA versus NA. I think that'd be really cool as well, just to show that both NA teams from both sides made it all the way through, and that'd kind of like assert the NA versus EU battle thing better. So to have an NA versus NA final would be sweet. But otherwise, I'd like to play Fnatic again. That'd be a fun time. So.
There was a lot of talk about the importance of international play. Do you hope there will be more of those tournaments in Season 4?
I think if there were more international tournaments, that obviously that increase the amount of experience you have versus each team. So for example, since we're in the NA LCS, we get to play 7 other teams 4 different times, and we get to scrim all the time, so we get used to their playstyle and understand how they work. And international experience, I don't think is that big of a deal because it's a hindrance to both teams. For example, even though we've never played Gambit, they've never played us at the same time. So we both have the same, what is it? Not advantage, but disadvantage? Yeah, disadvantage. So I don't think international experience is that big of a deal. But I would like more international tournaments because I think it's really fun just to see how each meta works and how each team operates. So if Season 4 had more international tournaments, that'd be pretty cool. So, yeah.
Any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks to all of our sponsors, Law Class, Astro, HyperX, Crunchyroll, iBuyPower, Cooler Master, Asus, and Homejoy. I believe that is all. Thanks.
Thank you for the interview and good luck in the tournament tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.